Hello everyone, this is Prema here, Assistant Professor, Department of Fashion Technology, Bharathiyar Arts and Science College for Women, DEVIYAKURICHI. This is our textile printing practical class and discuss about how tie and dye fabrics are made. Before going to the practical, let me recall some theories. Textile printing is the process of applying dye to the fabric surface to enhance its color, design and appearance. Today we are going to discuss about textile printing in resist technique. In this class we are discussing about tie and dye printing. Tie and dye printing is the process of applying the dye to the fabric surface and we creating the designs through preventing the dye from the fabric surface to adhesive on the fabric. Let me show the materials that we are required to make the tie and dye designs. First of all, we need some samples. Here I am taking different size samples to create different designs, and we need some ties. Means we can use any kinds of thread. If you have waxed thread, it will be more easy to use. Instead of that, you can alternatively use rubber bands, and we need some stones to create spiral or circular patterns, and mainly we need two kinds of fabric dye. Here I am using direct dye and we have sky blue and violet color, and one more thing we need is gloves. We use gloves to prevent the stain that adhesive on our hand or to the fabric that we are wearing. Let me start the process. First, we need to create the stripes. For stripes, we need to fold the fabric like this, like front and forth. So, once you completed folding this, like we need to tie the fabric. You can use thread or else you can use the rubber bands. Here I am using rubber bands. Before tying the fabric, you need to keep in mind that the fabric should be de-sized, then only the dye will be get more absorbed. So, we need to tie the fabric like this to prevent the fabric surface from the dye. So, here I am using the rubber band to create the preventing area, and I am using like this. You need to keep the rubber bands more tightly, or else it will get absorb the dyes. Here the stripes are made. Then we gonna create the folding technique. Here I am using the folding techniques like diamonds. So, for diamond patterns we need to fold like this. I will show you once again, like this. I am folding the fabric as 4. Then we need to create the triangles like this. It is an easy folding technique like this. Then we need to tie the fabric at the center side. So, keep in mind that it will be fold like this, then only the dye can absorb into these areas. I am holding the fabric and making the rubber bands more tightly. We can use more rubber bands on the same side, so you can hold it more tightly. I am using one more rubber bands. Here we done the tying process, and one more tying technique, like we need some stones to create these spiral or circular patterns. We need to hold the stone in the center part and hold the fabric like this and tightly tie the stone using rubber bands, like more tightly. Like this, and make sure that the fabrics are well placed like this. Here I am using only one stones. Instead of that, you can use many or few. According to your pattern and your wish, you can use many. Let me start the dyeing process. Before dyeing, we need to wear the gloves so that it is our chemical dyes. You know that chemicals are harmful to human body. So we need to prevent the dye from the direct contact to the body. So I am using here an gloves to prevent the dye. Once the samples are made, we need to dye the samples with appropriate colors. So as we choose the colors, I am dipping the color first once into one color. After that, once it is completely absorbed, we need to hold it like this, and I am mixing into the second one, so that here we can get two colored tie and dye fabric. Here I am used to only one stone. Instead of that, as you wish, you can use many, or instead of stones you can tie more rubber bands into the fabric. So as it is, it will create different kinds of designs. Here I am done with the spirals. Then I am going to the folding technique method. It is important to give some space between the cloths, then only the fabric get loose and the dye get easily absorbed. Here also I am dipping into the one color. Make sure that it is completely absorbed. After that, squeeze out the excess amount. Then go for the next color. Here I am dipping into the other side. Here also make sure that it is completely absorbed like this, and squeeze out the excess and make it a separate part. And for the stripes, I am dipping this side with one color and this with another color. So the center will have both the colors. Before dipping into the fabric, be confident and be defined about the patterns. Here we need to mix the color, what color you need to mix, and how the patterns will be created after mixing it. For a great output, we need to define the colors first. The best combination color will give more attractive designs. So be sure about the color that you are mixing. As we done previously, dip the fabric into the dye and squeeze the excess amount. Here we done with the dyeing process. Let me set it for some times. Done, sir. The resting part is done. Then we need to remove the excess amount of dye that presents in the fabric. By rinsing it, we can remove the excess amount of dye easily. Then we need to remove the rubber bands one by one. Then we can complete the dyeing section. Let me rinse the samples. Take it one by one and make sure that it is not a huge run. Here I am washing it slowly. Don't squeeze the fabric. So here I am using like this. Rinse the excess dye as you can see in the video. Here we done, and go to the next sample. Wash the sample like same. Rinse each color separately. Don't bother about the excess dye. So here we done. And the last one. Rinsing also more important, because we need to rinse the sample at the right time. It will not be more dried or it will not be in the wet condition. You don't need to wash it completely. Once it is get dried, it will be fine. Here I am done the rinsing process. Let me cut the rubber bands. After washing it, we need to dry the samples. Once the sample is dried, then we need to cut the rubber bands. And remove like this. Here we can see the results. As I said, it is more important to choose the colors. We use the different color combination to make the sample more visual. Then to the circle design. With the tie and dye designs, we can create many types of patterns like spiral, circles, and some using other folding techniques. We can use different kinds of designs. Here you can see the circle like this. Here we have used only one stone. If you are using many kind stones, you can get many different size circles and on the different sides. And the last one, stripes. Here I am tied with 3 rubber bands. Instead of that, you can tie many rubber bands. So according to your design or tying, the pattern will be created in different way. Make sure that the rubber bands are tightly folded, then only the design will be more visible. Let me see the result. You can see that the area that we are tied is lightly dyed or it is completely not dyed. So here we are resisting the dyes to absorb the fabric. So by preventing the dyes we are creating some designs. So it is called resist printing. Here we all done. You can see the patterns that we are created. This is a folding technique. We are folded the fabric like triangle so that we can create designs like that. By creating triangles we completely getting an square shape designs. So each squares are done and gets a different color. In this pattern we are creating the stripes. You can see that wherever we tied the rubber bands, here the dyes are not completely absorbed or it is completely not absorbed or otherwise it is partially absorbed. So when it is not completely absorbed, you can get the white stripes, or it is partially gets absorbed, you can get the patterns like shades. So that's it. Then the last one, here we used only one stones so that we can get only one circle. So around this circle we creating two different colors, like here we have the violet color and here we are at the center part we can get the sky blue. Let me show you some samples. You can see that this sample is made with circles as we designed with the stones. Here also I am done with the stone and I am done in different areas, like you can see that here I am resisted with the tie and here also, and the last round you can see that once we are moving to forward to the edges, the shape of the circle will get into different designs, and this is also an circle pattern, like you can see that. And as we done with the folding techniques, here I am used black and the orange color, so that here you can see that it is more important to choose the color combinations. We need to create the designs with different colors, then only the visual effect will be more attractive, because we need to use dark and light shades, then only it get the differentiations. So here I am created the triangular shape using folding technique, and here is the one more central stripes, and I am diagonally designed the fabric, and some stripes I am used single samples to create these more attractive colors. I am only used single colors, but you can see that while using one color we can get different two colors, like we can get the main colors that we are applied and the white one. In this fabric we get three colors, like we used only two colors, the sky blue and the violet, and the resisted area will remain as white. So here I am used chemical and natural dyes. These are chemical dyes, as you can see in the practical, and these also chemical dyes. For the yellow color I am used with turmeric. So if the chemicals are not available in your side, you can use the natural colors. Here I am used the turmeric, and instead of that you can use beetroot or other else flowers. If you have colored flowers you can use it. If you have some vegetables you can use carrot, beetroot, like that. And alternatively you can also use the violet cabbage also. I will show you the samples once again, then you can get the complete idea. That's all about today's class. As we already covered the theories, it will be more easy to understand the practicals. Hope you guys understood well, and we will meet on the next topic. Thank you.